Hello everyone, welcome to the KZGN News. Today we'll bring you news about the fire west of us, a video from Shannon Grove, news of a special council meeting coming next week, a special enforcement notice from the police department, the China Lake Museum dinner fundraiser is tomorrow, today's gas prices, weather sports, and much more.
From the Rademacher Hills to Bee Mountain and the mighty Sierras, Ridgecrest to Inyokern and China Lake, this is your news for the Indian Wells Valley with the KZGN News crew.
Hello, I'm Tom Whitnick. Thanks for joining us for the news affecting Ridgecrest and the Indian Wells Valley. We open with the status of the fire in the Sierra Mountains west of us. The chimney fire was reported to the Bureau of Land Management at approximately 3:30 p.m. on Tuesday, June 1st. It started in the area of the Chimney Peak campground. The cause of the fire is under investigation. When firefighters arrived on scene, the fire was approximately 30 acres and was growing rapidly in difficult terrain. Firefighters and local and county law enforcement moved quickly to suppress the fire and evacuate private residences and campgrounds in the Chimney Peak area. No structures have been lost to the fire yet. The fire is currently estimated at 1,000 acres and is burning primarily in the Chimney Peak and Owens Peak wilderness areas. The fire is burning in an area adjacent to the Pacific Crest Trail, and the trail is closed between Highway 178 and Kennedy Meadows. The fire has not burned across the trail, however. Hikers are asked to avoid the area. Chimney Peak Canebrake Road is closed to all traffic. 9 Mile Road is open only to local residents and fire vehicles. Firefighters are working hard to contain the fire while minimizing impacts to the wilderness. A Type 2 fire management team will be taking control of the chimney fire this afternoon. Fighting the fire, there are 13 hand crews, 18 engines, 7 helicopters, 1 water tender, 9 air tankers, 2 air attack controllers, 2 lead planes, and 390 personnel. The agencies involved in the fire include the Bureau of Land Management, U.S. Forest Service, National Park Service, California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection, Kern County Fire, Tulare County Fire, and the Tulare County Sheriff's Department. Currently, it is only 10% contained, so avoid the area until this fire is controlled. In news about the road construction by the new Walmart, we get this announcement. The general contractor building the new Walmart on the corner of South China Lake Boulevard and Bowman Road is announcing the start of major road work. Work has started to tie the West Bowman Wash to the East Bowman Wash. They will be installing an underground storm system that will join these two washes together. This is a very large part of the City of Ridgecrest Storm Drainage Improvement Project. Traffic will be restricted to 1 lane in each direction between College Heights Boulevard and East Raider Street through July. There could also be some delays throughout this time as the work is very complicated. Please bear with them on this very complicated scope of work. And be alert to the safety of the construction workers. Slow down driving through the area. You can also avoid it altogether by going around the area using South Norman Street. In city news, the Ridgecrest City Council will begin taking up the 2016-17 budget next Wednesday. A special meeting of the Ridgecrest City Council is called to be held next Wednesday, June 8th. It will be held at 5 p.m. in the council chambers. Note the time is 5 p.m. versus the usual 6 p.m. The special meeting shall be for the purpose of presentation of an introductory overview of the draft preliminary budget for fiscal year 2016-17 and the opening of budget hearing discussions. The budget will now have to move through the approval process pretty quick, as state law requires the council to approve a balanced budget by July 1st. So we'll probably see more special meetings. And from the Ridgecrest Police Department, we get this announcement of a special enforcement action. The Ridgecrest PD is joining in the Click It or Ticket campaign in an effort to save lives through increased seatbelt use. This education enforcement period came ahead of the Memorial Day holiday, one of the busiest travel weekends of the year. According to research conducted by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 88.5% of passenger vehicle occupants buckled up in 2015. Almost 50% of occupants of fatal crashes nationwide are not restrained. In some states, the rate is as high as 70% of unrestrained people are in fatal crashes. In California, more than 500,000 people travel our roadways at grave risk without proper restraints. These facts gravely highlight the need for increased education, awareness and enforcement, and awareness of seatbelt use. This year, The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is aiming to increase campaign participation even more by coordinating a coast-to-coast seatbelt education and enforcement effort with the California Highway Patrol and local law enforcement agencies. Law enforcement agencies statewide are joining the Click It or Ticket effort to emphasize the coast-to-coast seatbelt safety awareness campaign in all 50 states. As law enforcement, we have a special role in helping protect the safety of our citizens from the east to the west coast, said Chief Ron Strand of the Ridgecrest Police Department. Time after time, we see the daily results that come from drivers and passengers refusing to wear a seatbelt. Wearing a seatbelt is one of the most important steps in increasing survivability in a crash. Our job is to stop those who are not buckled up and to keep them from repeating this potentially deadly mistake. Again, that was from Chief Strand. Law enforcement agencies will write citations day and night with a zero-tolerance approach. Hundreds of thousands of citizens will be traveling throughout the summer vacation season. We want to make sure that people are buckling up to keep themselves and their families safe. It is the greatest defense in a crash. So, remember, click it or ticket, or worse. In local club news, the China Lake Museum Foundation is getting ready for their annual dinner fundraiser. The event will be held Saturday, June 4th. It will be at the Kerr-McGee Center starting at 4:30 p.m. This dinner and fundraiser helps raise funds for the operations of the museum on China Lake and to add funds to the construction account to build a new museum in the city. The proposed location of the new museum is by the Manorego Museum. Moving the museum off base is real important to make it more accessible to the general public. This fall, they plan on starting the new museum with a 3,000 square foot building. This will be phase 1. Tickets for the dinner fundraiser is $35 for a single and $60 for a couple. So if you want to help, plan on attending the dinner fundraiser. Time is running out. Again, it will be held this Saturday, June 4th. It will be at the Kerr-McGee Center starting at 4:30 p.m. For more information or to buy tickets, call 760-939-3530. You can call and purchase tickets with a credit card if you'd like. They also have a Facebook at China Lake Museum Foundation. Help make this great addition to the community a reality. Thanks for staying with us. Now here's news from our local Habitat for Humanity. The community is invited to join them Saturday, June 4th at 8:30 a.m. Habitat for Humanity of the Indian Wells Valley will have a wall raising for the 20th Habitat House. Habitat needs volunteers for this event. The location is 919 Oregon Street, out in Ridgecrest Heights. To find it, go south on Downs to the last street before the stop sign. Turn right and you're at 919 Oregon Street. This is a great community service and easy to do. Bring your gloves and enjoy the event. This is an outstanding achievement by this group of hard-working people, and it helps put families into their own home. Every family selected for this home program is required to provide a certain amount of sweat equity into the home. This also helps the city in that it develops another new home which brings in property tax dollars. So join in the fun. I have done these, and this is a fun, easy event. Be there Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. Now here's a special news conference from Shannon Grove. She has been a strong advocate supporting the Second Amendment. Currently, the Liberal-run State House is considering passage of a number of anti-gun bills. They have been approved by the Assembly and now moved to the Senate for approval. When approved there, they'll move to the governor for signature.
Thank you. First of all, I want to tell Devin Mathis, Assemblymember Mathis, thank you for putting this on. You know, he is the only combat veteran in the California State Legislature, so I think he deserves an applause just for that. The U.S. Constitution gives us the right to defend ourselves. Many of our Democratic colleagues don't like this constitutional provision because it puts too much power in the hands of its citizens. Bit by bit, new law by new law, these legislators are making it harder and harder for law-abiding citizens to own a firearm. These legislators want us to be completely dependent on government to defend us against criminal elements in society. That will not work, especially in my family. I would rather have a loaded Glock in my hand than 911 on the phone. The right to self-defense is one of the fundamental rights that our government was created to protect, and Democrats want us to remain needy and vulnerable. Why? Because the needy and vulnerable people needs more and more government and more taxes to take care of them. A needy population is fearful, or they're fearful of it. They're fearful and want us to be a needy population so that they can govern our lives more and more. Our right, or our fight to protect the rights is an affront to their power. Your fight, our fight, is seen as a threat. Our founding fathers were not afraid of armed citizens. They purposely put the ultimate power of government into the hands of its people. They trusted the citizens more than they trust government authority. Those were our founding fathers. This past weekend, this last 3-day weekend, almost every single legislator, I would bet, celebrated or went to a memorial service recognizing Memorial Day to honor our veterans and our fallen. I can tell you that examples in my district where they honored live veterans and the ones that have lost their lives. Wesley Leon Barrientos, a United States military veteran, wounded 3 times in Iraq, and the last time he lost both of his legs. U.S. Corporal Jorge Salazar, with a Bronze Star and a V for combat, lost both of his legs overseas in Afghanistan. Specialist 4, Leonard Alvarado, distinguished himself as a Medal of Honor winner. Distinguished himself as a Medal of Honor winner and a recipient in Vietnam, where he died on August 12, 1969, throwing himself in the forward of a grenade fire and machine gun fire to protect his military comrades. There are people like this that have laid down their life and their limbs to protect our rights. Most of those men and women that fight for our country look at our Constitution as a sacred document that needs to be protected every single day, and that's what has given us the right as Americans for freedom. They don't look at freedom as just as a word. They look at freedom as something they're willing to fight for. We take the same oath in this building as you do as a military fighting person for the United States military. We swear to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. I submit to you that our military veterans have not forgotten that honor, but the Democrats in this building who are fighting to keep our Second Amendment rights away from us have forgotten that oath that they took. And so I would thank all the people here today to help remind them as they walk through these halls, and they remind them that we in California, just because we live here, doesn't mean that we have fewer Second Amendment rights than the rest of the United States of America. Last I checked, the Constitution was for every American citizen, not just people outside of this state. Thank you for being here.
We thank Shannon for her continued effort to fight for the Second Amendment. None of these bills would do anything to fight crime or take guns out of the hands of people that shouldn't have them. It's time to start calling Governor Brown's office. Call there and declare that these laws are not going to do anything to stop crime, but will make millions of current legal gun owners criminals by passing prohibitions that ban items that are currently legal to own. These are terrible new laws. If you agree, help spread the word to your family and friends. Start calling the governor now to voice your concerns about these new proposed laws. Encourage him to veto them. You can call his office at 916-445-2841, or you can email him. If you just go to www.govnews.ca.gov, there's a simple form to fill out and send to him. I've done it online. It's easy. Don't be silent. Act now. Now on KZGN's continuous effort to provide news and information you've asked for, here are today's gas prices for Ridgecrest and some surrounding areas. Well, since my last report, local prices have held steady, and we still have the lowest prices in all the areas we're monitoring. As of this morning, Ridgecrest has ranged from $2.53 to $2.99, Lancaster from $2.69 to $2.99, the LA Valley area $2.55 to $2.79, and the Bishop area $2.75 to $2.99. We have 3 stations at $2.53 per gallon. Tune in Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays for updates. We at KZGN always suggest you shop locally to support our local economy. Remember, when you pay sales tax out of town, you're helping those cities pave their streets instead of here. Thanks for staying with us. Now here's Lane with the weather.
Thank you, Tom. From the National Weather Service, showers and thunderstorms will continue to produce heavy rain and flash flooding over portions of the southern plains and western Gulf Coast. Excessive heat is expected in portions of the southwest and northwest into the weekend. Temperatures across the nation. Carolinas at 79, Georgia at 91, Arkansas at 80, Northern Texas at 74, Arizona at 99, and Los Angeles at 73. And for us locally, tonight, clear with a low around 71, south-southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny with a high near 109, southwest wind 5 miles per hour. Saturday night, mostly clear with a low around 71, west wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny with a high near 105, southwest wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunday night, mostly clear with a low around 69, west wind 15 to 20 miles per hour with gusts as high as 30. Monday, sunny with a high near 104, west-northwest wind 5 miles per hour. Monday night, mostly clear with a low around 71, west wind 10 miles per hour with gusts as high as 15. And Tuesday, sunny with a high near 106, west wind 5 miles per hour. And that is your forecast for the IWV. Now back to Tom.
So that's the news for today. Also, KZGN-TV know you have a choice in what you watch for your news. We all thank you for choosing KZGN-TV, Ridgecrest's only locally owned community TV station. Now stay tuned for Ridgecrest Talk, coming up next.